Hey everyone, how we doing today? Mary Ellen Van Auken, Sue Jennings, real estate ladies of North Atlanta. How are you doing today, Sue?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Mary Ellen?
I'm doing great. So we've got some fun stuff to talk about today. So we're going to talk about how to stage your home like a pro. We're going to talk about one of the new neighborhood highlights, Etrus Grove by O'Dwyer Homes. We're going to talk about what we love about North Atlanta, which is so exciting, downtown Alpharetta. How could you not like that? And we're going to talk about the design tip of the day is give yourself some time to get used to new pieces, which is always, people don't like change. So let's start out, Sue. We're going to talk about the neighborhood highlight of Etrus Grove by O'Dwyer Homes, and it's on Etrus Road in Roswell. So tell us a little bit about this.
It is. So O'Dwyer is a fantastic builder of family homes. And these homes, there's actually only 3 left in this community, but it's a fantastic location in Roswell. These homes are stunning single family homes. They have large home sites, and this all feeds into Milton High School, by the way, which is one of the highly rated high schools in this area.
Yes.
O'Dwyer themselves are locally family owned as far as being a builder. They treat their residences that they build as if they're their own homes. And these homes in Etrus Grove are farmhouse style and craftsman style architecture. Standard features in these luxury homes are open concept living spaces, granite countertops, hardwood floors, gourmet kitchens. And the greatest thing about this community is that it's within walking distance of the Sweet Apple Park and the Sweet Apple Village. And there's a lot of nice restaurants and shops in Sweet Apple Village. And in general, it's just minutes away from downtown Roswell with a, small town charm in that historic area. And Milton and Alpharetta are close by as well.
Yeah, so it's such a great location. What a great location.
It is. It is. And the homes are all smart home ready as well, which is nice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, who doesn't like a gourmet kitchen, right? But at least 2 ovens, right? And a convection oven, microwave. Yeah, who wants all that stuff? So anyway, that's great. So they start in the mid 800s?
The mid 800s, yes.
Which is really good, a good price point. But, like you said, once you add all your upgrades and stuff, it's going to be a lot more. So that's what's kind of interesting in new construction, right? Because unless you're doing spec homes and it's like, this is the price of the house and this is what you get, which a lot of the builders do in the lower price homes because they have to be cost efficient. With the luxury homes, they're always adding. So it was can be a lot more expensive, but it's what you want and what it's your dream home. So why not put in what you want?
Right.
All right. So thank you about that. Let's talk about, let's see, how to stage your home like a pro. So everybody shows their house and lives in their house 2 different ways. So let's get some good advice on what we can do. What we can do to make it look listing ready and showing.
Right. So staging your home can really have a significant impact on how buyers perceive your home. It really can make them, fall in love with the property. And so here's what sellers really need to know. First of all, we'd like you to declutter and depersonalize your home. So that's basically that. It'll make the spaces feel larger, more inviting. It will also, if you take down your family photos and so forth, pack those away. You're getting ready to move anyway. Personal collections should always be put away. And this will help buyers visualize themselves living in the home. So that's what you really want to do as far as attracting your buyers.
Right. You really don't want all your whatever you collect. I don't know what do people
mugs.
Collect
people collect mugs all the time.
I don't know. What do people collect that they have like a whole bunch of stuff? No, we just put those away. Just put it away for you. That's for your enjoyment, not for the potential buyer who wants to buy your house. Okay. And the second one, I love this one because clean thoroughly. I mean. Get somebody in there professionally cleaning, scrub everything, scrub the baseboards, just really have your house nice, squeaky clean.
Yeah, and don't forget, wash the windows. Windows really can make a place look cloudy and dark when if you clean them and they sparkle, you'll get so much more sunlight in the home and the home will feel so much brighter and more inviting.
Yeah, and especially find those professionals. We have some professionals that we work with in window washing because you know what, that can be really dangerous upstairs, and you know it's dangerous. So just hire the professionals. They come in one price, do the whole entire house, and it just makes your house sparkle, and it makes a huge difference in taking photos and everything like that.
Right. Not to step back for a moment, but going back to decluttering, we also have professionals that we can recommend to you to help you declutter and organize. So just keep that in mind if it feels a little overwhelming to you.
Yeah, because people do get overwhelmed. They get overwhelmed when they're doing this. And it's like, let's just take one step at a time. And we're here to help. We're here for guidance. If you know you need to hire someone, we have people that specialize in those specific areas. Also, you know, one step at a time. Just don't get, you know, one room at a time. Just, you know, really don't overwhelm yourself, because we do find that people are very overwhelmed when it comes to selling their house.
Right. And, you know, Mary Ellen and I are both very good about going through a home and giving you great pieces of advice as to what to do and what to change and, you know, how to make the home, you know, professionally staged looking and so much more appealing to buyers. So number 3 on our list today is to create a neutral palette. So if you have like a brightly floral bedspread on your bed, for instance, we'd like you to tone that down a bit. We want the walls and the decor in general to appeal to a wider audience, and that's why we're saying this. You can add pops of color throughout, but just through your throw pillows, your vases, little pieces of artwork, things like that.
Yeah, I mean the walls, and there's so many great colors, and you know there's different colors that trend. So anything of like a white color or a gray color or the neutral. So anything neutral is really going to work out. So people don't want your pink with polka dots.
Right.
You know.
Right. So gray is a color that people used a lot just a few years ago as far as painting their home before they listed it. Gray is actually on its way out.
Yes. It's the whites that are
more
coming
popular
in
right now. Right. Exactly. And a color that I highly recommend is Snowbound by Sherwin-Williams.
Yeah.
So if you want some other suggestions, you can always give us a call. We're happy to help.
Yes. All right. So number 4 is highlight the key features of a home.
Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to make sure the furniture is arranged so that people can move smoothly through the home and maximize what the space looks like. You want to ensure that, heavy drapes and things like that are not blocking the natural sunlight coming into the home. So we want you to open your blinds, open your curtains, and we can assist you with maybe what pieces need to go to storage or need to go leave the space before we actually list the home.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's just so many key features in a home, and what people are going to look at, they're going to look at the space in the family room. They're going to look at the space in the kitchen. They're going to look in the space in the master bedroom. Those are really, really kind of important. Those are the things that people are looking at. So you want to look at the key features too. And everybody loves a fireplace, right?
Right.
Everybody loves a fireplace, even though we don't use it as much here in Georgia, but it's more for decor. So,
right.
All right. So, getting into decor, number 5 is use strategic decor.
Right. So what we consider to be strategic decor is fresh flowers and greenery and maybe bowls of fruit for a lively touch. We also want you to strategically place mirrors so that they reflect the light coming through the windows and also make rooms appear larger and brighter.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. The next one is update and repair. Okay. This is like a can of worms, I think.
Yeah, you start one project and you keep going, don't you?
Right, exactly.
So
Never
with
ending.
this one, we want you to paint, chipped up walls, walls that are damaged, walls that maybe aren't the best color to sell your home. We want you to look at, your squeaky doors and make sure that they are repaired, that the handle is on your refrigerator properly. We want you to look at your faucets and make sure they're not leaking. If you can at all possible, set a budget for what you want to do for your staging, of course, but then update like older faucets and older light fixtures, things like that, that we want the home and the appliances and all to have a more modern feel.
And you want everything to match too. We don't want like a refrigerator that's black and then everything else stainless steel. So please match up everything too when it comes to that. All right, next one is curb appeal. Enhance that curb appeal, which is so important.
So go out in the street, stand back, look at the front of your house and look at it through the eyes of a buyer coming to your home for the very first time. How do you want them to see it? So does the front door need to be painted? Do the shrubs need to be trimmed? How about a fresh layer of mulch on your flower beds? Things like that. Make sure the lawn is always trimmed, put some flowers at your front door. And
power wash. Power wash.
Power wash. Yeah. The driveway,
big thing.
Sidewalk. Yes, exactly.
It's amazing.
Cobwebs.
Yes, cobwebs and what the best part about it, I don't know, like if you ever have that you're power washing something, the whole satisfaction is seeing like you're like, I didn't realize that was that dirty when you power wash something. It's amazing. That power wash thing is so cool. Yeah. I like doing it. I don't know why, but I do. But it's nice to hire someone.
Yeah, depending upon where your property is located, if you're near a lake or something, you may need to pressure wash as much as like 3 times a year. Some other places, maybe you can get away with it only being done twice a year. And the same thing with mulch as well, because mulch tends to fade a little bit. So putting a fresh layer on your beds really can make them look much more professional and well taken care of. Sure. Same thing with pine straw. If it's gotten flattened, maybe it's a little sparse looking, has disintegrated, get a fresh layer of pine straw put on.
Yeah. And the sun is so strong here too. So definitely the mulch definitely just fades away. So that's always a good thing. All right. So next one is stage your outdoor space.
Right. So Mary Ellen and I recently sold a home. It was a 7-figure home in the area. And one of the things that seller really did well was they staged their outside porch because it was a fabulous outdoor living environment, which is very popular here in Georgia, with a pool and an outdoor fireplace, a beautiful covered porch. They did a great job of staging that area with furniture and pillows and making it look like a great family gathering area. And you want to highlight those dining spaces. You want to highlight that outdoor kitchen, things like that you may or may not have, but set up the seating and really try to put some attention into that outdoor space. People love that.
Having little pillows is a huge difference. It's just making it very homey. Staging that outdoor space. The next one is balance the budget. Okay. Yeah. So we all want to do things, right? And we stick to a budget. Like I'm going to spend this amount of money to get my house ready. Right. What is the most effective way that I can get the most money out? Right. What should I do? So that's something like a conversation we talk to our clients all the time. Should I do this or should I do that? I have the money for this, but I don't want to do that, So I think that just, asking for some advice on this is my budget and this is what I'm going to do.
Right. And don't be afraid to rearrange furniture. If something is a little bit cluttered in one room, but we're missing something in another room, don't be afraid to take that one piece and move it to another part of the house. Sure. After all, I always say moving is like throwing your furniture up in the air and it all comes down in different rooms anyway. Right. So, just because something sat there for the last 10 years doesn't mean it has to sit there while your home is being listed and photographed and videoed and everything else. The other thing people can do is they can rent pieces if needed. I try not to do that because of the expense, but that is an option if your furniture is really in tough shape and we do need a room. That is something that we can do. And also, don't forget, painting can have a big impact on a space.
And that doesn't really cost a lot of money at all.
No.
So that's good. All right. So the next one is stay consistent.
Throughout the whole space, we want to have this comfortable, warm, inviting feel throughout the entire space and not have, everything in one space and nothing in other spaces. We understand that, maybe you've already sent that furniture in that particular room to, an adult child or something like that. But we want to make sure that the whole home feels very consistent throughout, that everything's been painted if it needs to be painted, that everything is clean, everything is decluttered, and it photographs well.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about some specific advice for Alpharetta and Milton areas.
Right. So Mary Ellen and I are in the North Metro Atlanta area. Our office is located in Alpharetta. Both of us are residents of the Alpharetta and / Milton area. And so we do, focus a lot of our business on this area, but we do expand beyond this territory as well. But I'd like to give you an experience as a listener as to what it's like perhaps to live in Alpharetta and Milton and what the homes here are really like. So that's why I wanted to include this in our podcast. So the homes here in general are large and spacious. They have high-end finishes, and they're a mix of traditional as well as modern styles. Buyers in this particular area tend to value elegance and practicality and lifestyle. They really want to know what living here is going to be like. And so that's why I wanted to share some of this with you. So number one on our list today is, if you're selling a home in this area, we want to showcase the lifestyle. So perhaps you live in a neighborhood that's swim tennis. We want to make sure that we include photos with your listing of the pool, of the lake, of the tennis courts, of the playground. And we want to make sure that buyers understand how close you are to dining, how close you are to downtown Alpharetta or downtown Crabapple,
Sure.
how far you are from shopping. And, entertainment like Avalon or, downtown Alpharetta. So also, a lot of the buyers here love to have one, if not two, offices in a home because both...
Mostly two now, mostly two. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that those spaces in the home are staged to appeal to remote professionals, because sometimes we do have professionals. We had one recently that they buy a home sight unseen. So we want them to see that there's space for them to work efficiently and effectively from the home and, want to buy the home even if they can't get here to look at the home in person.
Yeah.
In Milton, we especially like to emphasize the large lots in Milton, the serenity of the area. Yeah. There's an upscale lifestyle there. We like to see that in the outdoor areas of the home and showcase those for the home. Fire pits are pretty common. We want to make sure they show comfortable seating, and we like to set up dining, especially outdoors, if that's available, to showcase the natural beauty of the lot and the area around it.
So let me just tell you something that people probably don't know. So in Milton, there's Walmart, right? And I guess the homeowners around there didn't want a Walmart. So they had it made that this Walmart actually looks like a horse, horse theme, type of Walmart. So actually it's not the typical Walmart. They made it look into the community, into the lifestyle, which I thought was so interesting. So when you're always driving by that Walmart, you're like, this isn't a Walmart. Yes, it is, so it's amazing how the community and how the city really looks for that community to just showcase the horse country, showcase the beautiful trees and properties here in the Alpharetta Milton area.
They did that with a firehouse that was built a couple years ago as well.
Yes.
We've got, our high schools are fairly new in the Milton area, and the architecture and both of those is really stunning. I mean, that the Milton community and the Alpharetta community too, but the Milton community has really focused on architecture and being very, very particular about how things are built, what's built where. I mean, the zoning's very, very good from that standpoint. Yeah. So number 2 on our list, if you are selling your home in the Alpharetta Milton area, or you're a buyer looking for a home in the Alpharetta Milton area, we like to emphasize the layouts of the home, the open layouts and the flow of these homes. These homes are generally fairly large. So what we work with the sellers on arranging the furniture to highlight the open space, and so that these homes look very, very comfortable and inviting. We like to create natural pathways between rooms to make the home feel like a connected experience.
Yeah, that's really important. I mean, the open floor plan, and also like if you have 2 professionals working from home and, they need to be on different levels of the house, so you need to make sure, because, I love talking to young professionals. They're like, well, he talks really loud when he's on his conference calls, but she makes so much noise when she's doing a presentation. So having also that separate space on different levels of the house for everyone to have their office too, I think is really important. So layout is totally important, because you could have a townhouse that has an amazing layout that works better than a house. So you have to just look at the layout and see if it works for your lifestyle. So.
Right. I always emphasize that you should look at the layout of the home, not the square footage of it. People say I need, 3,000 square feet, but in reality, we can very often find a home that's not 3,000 square feet, but has a better floor plan than, maybe some of the larger homes. So, and the other thing, Mary Ellen, that I often get asked for is 2 living spaces. Because the adults like to entertain in one area, and they want their children or their teenagers to have a separate, living area, as far as video games, watching their movies, entertaining their friends, that sort of thing. So that's another thing that's fairly common.
And that really goes into the next one, which is focused on kitchens and living spaces. So everybody wants a big kitchen. Everybody wants an open kitchen. Everybody wants that kitchen and those living spaces. So, those are really things that in this area we have, just cute little areas off the kitchen that can be another living space, or up, a 3-level with upstairs that, a man can have their man cave in there, or the kids can have their place. So it seems like everybody not only has a bedroom, they have a living space in their house for their needs and their wants.
So a lot of these kitchens that have the additional living space, those rooms are called keeping rooms. It's something that I had not heard of when I lived up north. And when I moved to Georgia, I was like, what's a keeping room? And actually keeping rooms can be small spaces that might have a fireplace or might have a TV. And they're a great place to have your morning coffee, or just to sit and relax and have your friends sit there while you're making dinner or something like that. They're right off the kitchen. It's really a great concept here. But in general, when we stage a home, we want the kitchen countertops to be decluttered. We want, maybe you could add a bowl of fresh fruit or fresh flowers to the countertop, something like that. But we want to consider everything as being upscale, neutral, and we want to display, if there's anything on display, we want to make sure it all goes together and it's not cluttered looking, and that it all matches. Again, with living rooms, cozy throw pillows and maybe a little touch of color. And also to ensure that the fireplace is showcased, that it's not cluttered with lots of plants or something like that. We want to make sure it's a focal point for the home, and that there's tasteful decor on the mantle as well.
Right. Next one is highlight your outdoor features. Okay. You know, like I said, really in Georgia, you're outside all the time, you know, so, and there's just so many everyone wants an outdoor kitchen. Everybody wants a fire pit. Everybody wants that area of dining. So when you're having a party, you can have the overflow of people outside and inside and screened in porches and sunrooms. So there's always so many areas to entertain. I find that people in this area love to entertain at home and have football games or whatever they're having going on and having a party. So you need all these areas, and outdoor features are so important.
Right. You want to make sure that there's plenty of seating in those outdoor spaces, that they flow comfortably from the indoor to the outdoor seamlessly. So you might even want to consider the color scheme that you are using so that everything flows. So if you've got beautiful blues in your pool, maybe you want to pull some of that color into the porch and then continue that into the family room that might connect to that. It just makes the space feel warm and inviting, and it just makes it feel expansive as well. So we really want to highlight those outdoor features.
And then just putting fresh pillows on your outdoor couch or chairs or whatever, that will just also help in staging a house too, because they get faded a lot with the sun. You know, if you're not if you have them out there all the time, they get faded. So it's nice to just do a fresh, you know, how you do fresh in the front of the house, in the back of the house, do some fresh pillows on your couches and your chairs for dining.
Home Goods is a great place to pick up, you know, outdoor pillows very inexpensively, and you can have a lot of fun just color coordinating different prints and that sort of thing that can decorate your porch or your outdoor space by your pool.
Yeah. All right. So the next one is work with high ceilings and large windows. I mean, and that's another feature here. Like, a lot of people have 2-story family rooms here. It's just, it's that's the way they've designed a lot of thing, that people just want those 2-story, that wow factor when you walk into a house. It's very, very popular here. So make sure you're using all the high ceilings and the windows, and really just maximum light into the property too.
And make sure to maximize that light. You're cleaning the windows, you're opening the blinds and opening the curtains as well.
Yeah.
We want the natural light to flood the space is what we really want.
Yes.
Number 6 on our list is to leverage luxury features. These could be like really nicely finished hardwood floors, crown molding, custom cabinetry. And remember, with the cabinetry, we don't want it to look cluttered as well. If the home has a wine cellar, for instance, we do photograph those things. We do highlight those unique features of a home. And we also like to stage these to demonstrate, you know, how they can be used, their functionality and their appeal to buyers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So now number 7 is add regional touches. Okay, that's an interesting one.
Right. So actually, you know, in Urban Hardware, for instance, you can get, you know, pillows that say, you know, my home is Alpharetta or the zip code or things like that. Those are all kind of lend to like the Southern aesthetic, and they make the space feel very homey, inviting, make it feel modern and sophisticated at the same time. We also like to incorporate greenery, such as potted plants and floral arrangements that ties into the area's lush landscaping. And when we talk about the lush landscaping here, we've got a lot of trees. Atlanta was built in a forest, and the trees are beautiful here.
Right. So you're just bringing the outdoors into the indoor of the house, which is awesome too. And number 8 is we want to appeal to family buyers, right? So we want to appeal to everybody, right? So whether they're empty nesters, whether they're first married, whether they have kids or whatever. So you want to make sure, and I will tell you one thing, most of the houses here are, you have a bedroom, you have a bathroom, you have a bedroom, you have a bathroom. So everybody has their own bathroom, which is very interesting, because a lot of places, like I know that I shared a bathroom with my sister and brother. So there's 3 of us in one bathroom. But here in Georgia, everyone gets their own bathroom. You get one, everyone gets one. That's the norm. So if you do have a house that has a Jack and Jill, sometimes people don't like that because they want to have their kids have their own bathrooms.
Yeah. Well, the beauty of the Alpharetta and Milton area, as we're showcasing this today in this podcast, is the excellent schools in this area. You can go on greatschools.org and do your own research, but all of the schools right in this particular area have excellent scores and ratings. We also like to bring these scores and ratings into the home and for families, and we like to set up playrooms and bonus rooms and just show them how those areas can double as study rooms and really make a family feel comfortable. We also like to incorporate a little bit of sports memorabilia for, boys and all the different teams that are available to play on in the area between baseball and football and so forth.
Yeah. And that's really important, is just showing, and then in the basement, like basement/terrace level, whatever you want to call it. Here in Georgia, we call it terrace level.
Right.
Just have those areas where, whether it's an area for hobbies or whether it's an area for a gym, like a lot of people don't like to go to the gym. They like to work out in their house. So having these bigger homes in the area, everybody needs space for their gym equipment. So that's always a great other attracting the families, because they can be home with their families if they're working out in the basement while the kids are playing ping pong, or they're playing pool, or they're watching a movie. So there you go. You got everything in the basement. So number 9.
In Alpharetta and Milton, we want to, make sure we're highlighting the curb appeal and the southern charm of these homes. Make sure those porches and those front doorways are, appropriately set up to attract buyers. Maybe some rocking chairs on the front porch, or a bench on the front porch. Planters with seasonal flowers are always attractive, and just make sure the entryway is fresh and ready to go.
And really, that's one thing that I noticed coming from the north and coming down here, is like the rocking chairs and benches on the front porch, and or the swings and stuff on the front porch. So a lot of houses do have a front porch so that you can put a chair or a little bench on there. And because you want to be able to use the front of your house and the back of your house for outdoor space. So, just making that look clean and nice there too. All right. So number 10.
So in Alpharetta and Milton, we have, high-end but approachable designs of these homes, and the buyers are looking for sophisticated yet inviting homes. So you elevate your textures on those throw pillows, like velveteens, soft wool throws on the couch, area rugs that are higher end looking. They add depth and warmth to a space. Just don't have a lot of throw rugs around, please. Area rugs are one thing, throw rugs are a whole nother thing. We want to pick up those extra throw rugs because they do just add clutter to a property.
Yes. Good idea. Okay. So we gave you some great tips on how to stage a home by, with yourself, with the help, however you want to do it. And now we're going to go into what we love about North Atlanta. So what we really love about North Atlanta is downtown Alpharetta. And downtown Alpharetta has just transformed in the last, 5 years? And every 5-10 years, and it just keeps getting better and better every year. They've got so many activities. So I'm going to let you dive into downtown Alpharetta and tell us a little about it.
Well, you can always go to the website for Alpharetta. There's awesomealpharetta.com. You can get a lot of information on the activities in downtown Alpharetta, but there are about 25 places to dine, equally that many or more places to shop. There's always, like on a Friday night, Saturday night, there's always live music. Thursday nights during the spring, summer, and fall of the year, we do have Food Truck Alley. Saturday mornings, there's farmers market, and there's so much more in the area. The area spans about 1.72 miles, and its surrounding downtown communities are mostly townhomes, apartments, single homes, and it's getting this resurgence of new construction around it, where People are buying up the older homes and tearing them down and building new homes. And like the whole area is just kind of revitalizing on its own. Residents love the short walk to the downtown area where they can just, meet with friends, have, something to eat, or just get ice cream, for instance, and walk around and make some new friends as well.
And I want to tell everybody that they're actually they're widening Highway 9, Alpharetta Highway, which goes straight through downtown Alpharetta. But what's really nice is as you go north, they're making these huge sidewalks so that they're making it so accessible for people that are, maybe a mile or two away from downtown, that they actually can walk, and they can walk straight down there without it being dangerous. So anyway, they're expanding the roads around, they're widening things, and they're making it really more lifestyle friendly, don't you?
Right. So what they've done in Alpharetta is they've created an inner loop for walking, biking, strolling, pushing a stroller, roller skating, whatever you want to do on it. They've also created an outer loop, and the outer loop will eventually connect you all the way to the Greenway that runs on the east side of Georgia 400. But one of the they do have different events on the Alpha Loop. In fact, this Friday and Saturday night, they are having a loop lighting event for the holiday lights. And so that's something they've opened up to the community. You do need a ticket to attend, but the ticket is free of charge. Right. But if you're interested in something like that, just give me a call and I can connect you to the website as to how to get access to things like that. But they do have events where they'll have a sip and stroll on the Alpha Loop where, everybody will have a glass of wine and take a walk for the afternoon. I've done that. The walk usually ends up at Avalon, and everybody then goes for appetizers at a local restaurant in Avalon, or goes shopping. So it's just a great way to make some new friends and just get a little bit of exercise in and just really enjoy the community.
Yeah. Good. Well, I think we really, everything about downtown Alpharetta is amazing. So now we're going to go off into our design tip of the day, which is give yourself time to get used to pieces. I don't think people like change. You know what I mean?
No, they don't.
When it comes to staging, they don't like change. But
right.
Something
so even with staging, I have to say to people, I know we're moving this piece of furniture over to this other room, or we're getting rid of this piece of furniture, and they're like, well, I'm not sure I'm going to like that. And I said, I understand.
Right.
But leave it there for a couple days and take a look at it, because you might realize that now you've got greater, walking and mobility through that particular room, that it really opens the space up and it makes this other space over here feel cozier, that we created a nook for reading, that sort of thing. So if you're getting any new things, take a deep breath. It's okay. Just give it a chance. You might really enjoy the new features and the improvements, and let that piece settle in.
Yeah. Well, thanks for all that information. So today we talked about how to stage your house like a pro. We had such great tips. We talked about the new community of Etrus Grove, which is in Roswell, but it also is Milton High School, which is great. We talked about what we love about North Atlanta, which is downtown Alpharetta. How could you not like that? And then we talked, our little design tip of the day was to put a piece somewhere and get used to it, and give yourself some time to enjoy it. So people don't like change, but it's nice to see if you like it. Let it sit there for a little bit and then kind of move on. So thanks for tuning in today. Follow us on social media. We also have our newsletter every week, that weekly newsletter with Alpharetta and Milton events. You can sign up for that via email. And if you need anything else from us, we're always here. Thanks, Sue. And everybody have a great day.